Please be seated. Good evening. I'm Joe Giesling, the principal of North Hall High School, and I want to welcome you to the commencement ceremony for the class of 2014. Before we go any further, I want to express my deepest appreciation to Pastor Franklin and the fine people at Free Chapel for making this beautiful facility available for us to have our ceremony. Thank you, Free Chapel. Before we get started, I just have a couple of requests for you. Number one, is, anywhere you go, this is a common request, and that is please turn off your cell phones at this time. We also ask that you refrain from making any loud and spontaneous outbursts during the presentation of diplomas. I ask that you please render the respect the ceremony your children deserve, because everyone wants to hear their child's name called. And finally, for everyone's comfort and safety, we request that everyone remain seated throughout the ceremony. At this time, I want to take a brief moment to recognize some of our distinguished guests from the Hall County Board of Education. Mr. Nath Morris, Mr. Brian Sloan, Mr. Craig Harrington, Mr. Sam Chapman, Mr. Bill Thompson, and of course, Mr. Will Schofield. We are lucky to have some very distinguished guests with us today. U.S. Congressman Doug Collins, who I might add is a North Hall grad. Go Trojans, Doug. Go Trojans. Yeah, all right. The Honorable Lee Hawkins, State Representative. Thank you, Lee, for being here. The Honorable Billy Powell, Hall County Commissioner. Thank you, Billy. I also want to express a very special thank you to my administrative staff. I tell you, they work tirelessly, they work hard, and I really appreciate them. Miss Amy Smith, Mr. Richard Crumley, Mr. Kenny Childs, and Dr. Lee Hathcock. At this time, I do want to express a very special and sincere, heartfelt appreciation for the extraordinary leadership, vision, and support of our superintendent, Mr. Will Schofield. Thank you, Mr. Schofield. Also, I want to thank Ms. Dina Harper and Ms. Karen Filchak, who year after year put this graduation ceremony together, and certainly we couldn't do it without them. Thank you so much, Dina and Karen. Finally, I want to thank my best friend, my confidant, my supporter, my most vocal cheerleader. Also happens to be my wife, Vicki. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Also, we are very fortunate today to have in the audience your new principal for next year, Mr. Jamie Moore and his lovely wife, Stephanie. Would you please stand and wave so everyone can recognize you? Thank you so much for being here, Jamie and Stephanie. To the North Hall class of 2014, congratulations. You worked diligently and distinguished yourselves and your families by not only completing all academic requirements, but also excelling in every endeavor while at North Hall. This day is both a culmination of years of hard work and the beginning of a new era for all of you. I am exceedingly proud to be your principal, and I admire and respect every one of you. I said I wasn't going to get emotional about this, but 5 years ago, on this stage, I announced the first $1 million class in school history. And that was the first class to get over $1 million in scholarship offers. Each year, that number has continued to grow. This year, the class of 2014 has received over $5.2 million in scholarship offers, the highest in the history of the school. I want to take this opportunity to thank you, the North Hall community, for your support, your encouragement, your advice, and your trust. It has been my true honor to serve as your principal. Seniors, please join me one last time as we say, "Go Trojans! Go Trojans! Go Trojans!"
The North Hall High School faculty, staff, and graduation class of 2014 welcome you to our commencement exercise. We are excited that you are here tonight to share this occasion with us. We thank our teachers, family, and friends for helping us to become graduates of this outstanding school. Our class is proud of North Hall High and of the legacy we are leaving behind. We love our school. As we leave here tonight, we know that North Hall High will always be a part of us. We will cherish the memories and friends that we have made here, but understand that there are many challenges that are still before us.
Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated.
We as seniors are especially proud because tonight is the culmination of a journey that began years ago. But we did not travel this road alone. With that in mind, there are some important people that we would like to thank and recognize. Would Mr. Will Schofield, the Superintendent of Hall County Schools, please stand? Would any of our former teachers from elementary or middle school please stand? Would the faculty and staff of North Hall High School please stand? We are pleased all of you have come here to share this special moment with us. Thank you.
Welcome, friends, family, and faculty, and last but certainly not least, my fellow graduates. Here we all are, graduation night, and here I am on stage blushing in front of about 2,000 people trying to give a speech that, according to statistics, will only hold your attention anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes. What a predicament. While normally I don't regret my choices, I'm beginning to regret all the choices I made to get me on this stage tonight. I should have passed up on those late nights of studying and writing papers until 2 o'clock in the morning, before they were due the next day, of course. Just kidding. I am extremely honored to be standing before you tonight congratulating the North Hall High School class of 2014 on the moment we've all been working towards for the past 12 years, graduating. So many little things go into graduation. Sending out invitations, welcoming friends and family from out of town, ironing out the gown, which, believe me, is not an easy task. That's an hour of my life I'll never get back. And for us girls, finding a white dress and a white gown, while trying to micromanage all of these little details, we lose sight of what graduation is all about. Let us take a breather from the hustle and bustle to remember exactly why we're here tonight. Graduation is one night to celebrate 12 years' worth of achievement. We're here because our friends, family, and teachers never gave up on us when typical high school struggles became too much for us to handle on our own. We are here because we decided not to give up on ourselves. We are here because we desire a life to be proud of, a life that matters. Author and critic Martin Stolman uniquely defines this time in our lives. He says, "A graduation is a small but significant tradition that I think everyone should take part in. What a great way to symbolize a part of your journey and to represent your thoughts for moving on. Honestly, I don't think I could have said it better myself. Our journey began the day we came into this world, and our journey will end the day that we leave it. Tonight represents a brief yet significant mile marker on the road we've been traveling as we journey through life. My fellow graduates, take a few seconds, look at one another. Don't we look fabulous? We are ready. As we each walk across the stage, decked out in graduation attire and with our diploma in hand, I encourage each of you to allow yourself to be proud for all that you have accomplished. We each deserve our little piece of recognition on stage. Embrace it and all that it stands for. Also, do not accept all the memories made before and during tonight's celebration as the best times of your life, as so many people say. Instead, I encourage each of you to use tonight as a starting point from which your life only improves. As Senator Orrin Hatch so cleverly said, there is a good reason they call these ceremonies commencement exercises. Graduation is not the end, it's the beginning. So celebrate, class of 2014. We made it. Not to the end, of course, but to the beginning of our journeys to our next individual mile markers. Thank you.
Greetings, Mr. Schofield, Mr. Giesling, distinguished guests, parents, and class of 2014. There is a house on Mount Vernon Road in Gainesville, Georgia. It is made of red brick, mortar, and stone. It has been a home for hundreds of students in North Hall County for the past 50 years. But for the last 4 years, it has been our house. It has been a place that we, the class of 2014, called home. When we first passed through the front doors of this house back in 2010, we were young and we were nervous, maybe even a little scared, and none of us had driver's licenses. We had just witnessed the raging national debate that comes with the presidential election. We were told that change was coming to America, but we really weren't sure what that meant. We were naive and we were anxious. The only change we knew was that we were entering North Hall High School. In 2010, we had also just witnessed the effects of the Great Recession. Despite the positive news that we heard in the media, we saw and felt the impact of this recession in our community. So as we walked through the doors of this red brick house, we were faced with uncertainty. Uncertainty in the direction of our country, uncertainty in the financial health of our nation, uncertainty in our futures. And so, for the next 4 years of our lives, this red brick house on Mount Vernon Road became our second home, preparing us for this uncertainty we would face once we left. Every day, we walked through those doors under the North Hall motto, providing challenges and visiting success. We spent countless hours in these halls, in class, being challenged by one another and by teachers who went beyond measure to make us better students. We spent countless hours playing our hearts out on the brickyard, on the baseball field, on the soccer field, in the gymnasium, and even in the swimming pool. In this house, through the combined efforts of our teachers, coaches, the administration, and of course our parents, we learned and experienced the joy of success. But equally as important, we learned how to handle our own failures. We learned the feeling of watching the clock strike zero when we were a touchdown or goal behind. We learned the importance of character and the importance of faith, that it is not the end. But that's not news to us, because we know that this red brick house called North Hall is built on the foundation of faith, character, and the pursuit of excellence, because after all, that's what being a Trojan is all about. Along the way, we have celebrated several successes as a class. We had a National Merit finalist, Hyder Hastain. Paul Powers accomplished great victories along his way to becoming a championship swimmer. We celebrated with Copeland Collins when his father became U.S. Congressman. And just a few weeks ago, our varsity men's soccer team made it to the state AAA semifinals, and 10 of us have the bruises to show for it. Tonight, we would also like to recognize and express our appreciation to several members of the North Hall family who are retiring with this class. Coach Bob Christmas, you have led our football program to many years of success and excitement. Thank you for all you have done to put Trojan football on the map. Mr. Chandler, you have been an amazing math teacher, and you have inspired and equipped so many of us to pursue our dreams in math. You and your pot of grades will be greatly missed. We hope you and Dickens have a wonderful retirement. Lastly, we express our thanks to Mr. Giesling for his leadership of North Hall. You built the essence of Trojan pride, and you picked the very best North Hall graduating class to go out with. Go Trojans. As we reflect on these last 4 years and consider the road ahead of us, the words of an Avett Brothers song come to my mind. I had the honor of meeting their father, Jim Avett, about a year ago. Mr. Avett talked about how his sons gathered the themes for their songs from lessons they learned at home as they were growing up. This reflects the nature of a home, as a place where we learn to take on the world, much like what North Hall has done for us. The tune that comes to mind tonight is Head Full of Doubt, Road Full of Promise. The lyric goes like this: "There's a darkness upon me that's flooded in light. In the fine print, they tell me what's wrong and what's right. And it comes in black and it comes in white, and I'm frightened by those who don't see it. When nothing is owed, deserved, or expected, and your life doesn't change by the man that's elected, if you're loved by someone, you're never rejected, decide what to be and go be it. Decide what to be and go be it." Having spent the last 4 years in this red brick house, we don't need the fine print. We already know what's wrong and what's right. As we walked out those doors for the last time as students, we realized that this house would no longer be our home. It will not be North Hall providing the challenges, but rather the world itself. The lessons we learned here will be with us forever. There's no doubt that the North Hall class of 2014 will leave an impact on this world, that this class will produce leaders in communities all over America, in all fields, from medicine to law, to engineering, to business, to sports, and even to religion. The A brother said it best: decide what to be and go be it. To my classmates, it has been an honor to be your valedictorian, and to North Hall, we may be gone, but leave the porch light on. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Schofield and members of the Hall County Board of Education, I, Joe Giesling, as principal of North Hall High School, certify that each of these candidates has met the requirements for graduation and/or performance as prescribed by the Hall County Board of Education, the state of Georgia, and faculty of North Hall High School. I respectfully ask that each of these candidates be accepted, having met the policy requirements necessary to participate in this commencement ceremony. Mr. Schofield.
Are you guys ready for this? Go Trojans! Go Trojans! This is really a special group for me. And before we get started tonight, you're the guys that I've coached your little football teams. When we had snow, you stayed at my house for a week. You've eaten my food. I've watched you grow up from the time that you were 3rd and 4th graders. And can we take this moment, faculty, family, and friends, to let this group of 2014 graduates know just how beautiful they are. Congratulations. Let me also echo what Mr. Giesling said, and can we take just a moment also to show our appreciation for Pastor Franklin and the staff here at Free Chapel for opening their doors. Thank you very much. You know, as your superintendent of schools, I really only have one official duty tonight. It's to confirm your diplomas. I'm the one who has to look at your board and say, yeah, these guys actually took those classes, they passed their tests, and they do qualify for diplomas in the state of Georgia. And I'll do that in just a minute. But in the 15 years that I've been a superintendent of schools, I've never missed an opportunity to give you just a little bit of unsolicited advice. You know, I think it was Thoreau who said, never take the advice of an old man, because the only advice that he's going to give you is in those areas in which he's failed. Maybe that's true. But the longer that I've done this, I've started to move more and more away from advice and more towards what I consider to be truth. For you see, the beautiful thing about truth is it doesn't change. Destin, what was truth 2,000 years ago, is still truth today. And it'll be true 2,000 years from now. And I'm afraid as a culture, I'm afraid as a nation, we've lost our appreciation for that which is truth. I recently read a study that said the average American, this is the average American will lie 200 times a day. That's startling to me. We need to regain our appreciation for the truth. So that being said tonight, I want to leave you with just three kernels that I don't want to call it advice. I want to leave you with three kernels of what I call truth. The first one, strangely enough, comes in the form of a little lie. So I guess I only have 199 left today. But it's a little lie that people that think an awful lot of you have told you ever since you were little kids. Maybe it's been your parents. Maybe it's been a grandparent. Maybe it's been a teacher or a pastor. But the little white lie that we've told you goes something like this: great minds think alike. Class of 2014, let me challenge you that you've heard very little else in your life that's further from the truth than the statement that great minds think alike. Great minds dare to think differently. I'm reminded of a story that Robert Fulghum tells about a young pastor. He showed up at his church one morning. The phone rang at 7:30 and he picked it up, and it was his preschool teacher. She said, "Pastor, I got some bad news for you. I was just in a car accident. I'm not going to be able to make it to work today. You're going to have to teach the class. They'll be there in 15 minutes. Well, he hung up the phone and he hustled down to the preschool room, and within 30 minutes he had 15 or 24-year-olds that were swinging from the lights and they were ripping stuff up, and he really wasn't sure how he was going to get through this day. So he hearkened back to his own time as a 4 or 5-year-old, and he remembered a game that he used to play. And you guys will remember this. He said, kids, he said, gather around, crisscross applesauce, sit down on the floor. And they got down around him, and he said, here's what we're going to do this morning. He said, we're going to play a game that I used to play, and it's called Giants and Wizards and Dwarfs. And the first thing that you need to do, Misty, is you need to decide, are you going to be a giant, a wizard, or a dwarf? Well, he thought he had things going pretty well, and all of a sudden he felt a tug on his pant leg. And he looked down, and this beautiful little curly-haired girl looked up at him, and she said, Pastor, where do the mermaids stand? He said, no, sweetheart. There are no mermaids. There's giants, wizards, and dwarfs. And she tugged on his pant leg again, and he looked at her and said, yes. She said, Pastor, that's just not true. For you see, I am a mermaid. Class of 2014. Life is hard for those individuals that dare to think differently. Life becomes challenging when something at the pit of your soul says, I know that everyone else is going to the right, but I need to go to the left. But let me challenge you. Your life will be fuller. Our world will be better when you dare to think differently. Can you imagine where our world would be if John the Baptist, Aristotle, Madame Curie, or Abraham Lincoln had thought like the herd? The world does not need 238 individuals that think like they do. The world needs 238 Trojans who will dare to think differently. If indeed you will dare to think differently, the second piece of truth that I would leave you with tonight is this. Let me challenge you in your own private space and in your own quiet time to come up and to craft your own definition of success and significance. For if you're not careful, you're going to start to believe what the world tells you about success, and you're going to start to think it's defined by how much money have you got in your bank account? What kind of a car or a truck do you drive? Who'd you marry? What degrees did you receive? What are the titles after your name? Oh, success should be so much more. And success and significance should be so personally defined. Nobody's got a corner on the perfect definition for success, but I sure do like Emerson's. For Emerson said success is this. He said, success is to laugh often and much, it's to win the respect of intelligent people and the affection of children. It's to earn the appreciation of your honest critics, and it's to endure the betrayal of your false friends. It's to appreciate beauty. It's to see the best in others. It's to leave the world a better place. But Emerson finished up his thoughts with this, and it's so beautiful. He said, success. He said success is to know at the end of every day that at least one individual has breathed easier because you've lived. This is success. So I challenge you graduates to think differently. I challenge you to decide for yourself what success in life is going to look like for you. And the final bit of truth that I would leave you with tonight is the same advice I've given my children for the last 18 years. I try to remember to tell it to them every time I let them out of the car at school, every time I leave for work, before they leave in the morning, when they take off in the evening to go off and do things with you guys. And here's what I tell them as they leave. I said, now guys, take an opportunity today, take an opportunity tonight, and love somebody who's not very lovable. You know, as you look around, would you agree with me that we tend to live in an angry world? People are harried and hurried and angry. Seems like every time you turn around, folks are forcing you to take sides. Are you blue or are you red? Are you for or are you against? You Democrat or you Republican? Are you good or are you bad? And let me suggest to you that we need less of that. And what we need is to go out of our way to love individuals who are not very lovable. You know, I've come to believe that the individuals who say the things that seem to be the worst, that seem to be filled with bitterness, that seem to be angry, are those very individuals that need our love the most. You know, I think it was George Washington Carver who reminded us to be tender with the young, be compassionate with the old, be sympathetic with those individuals who are striving, and be tolerant of both the weak and the wrong. For at some time in your life, Jose, you'll be every one of those. You know, I couldn't tell you anything more truthful than I believe that the amount of love that's in you can be measured by your willingness, your ability to love individuals who aren't very lovable. In this life, you'll have all kinds of opportunities to respond in kind, to treat people the way that you've been treated, or you can rise above that, and you can give love where it's least deserved, but most needed. Graduates, we're so proud of you, class of 2014. And let me suggest to you that the fruit of life is found in your ability to stand for those who can't stand for themselves. Let me challenge you to stand for that in life which is good and noble and right and true.
Will you fight? No! We will run! And we will live!
Shame on you. This could be the greatest night of our lives. But you're gonna let it be the worst.
And I guarantee you, a week won't go by in your life you won't regret walking out, letting them get the best of you.
Well, I'm not going home.
We've got too far!
And I'm gonna stay right here and fight for this lost cause.
A day may come when the courage of men fails, but it is not this day.
The line must be drawn here. This far, no farther.
I'm not saying it's gonna be easy.
You're gonna work harder than you ever worked before.
But that's fine, we'll just get tougher with it.
If a person grits his teeth and shows real determination,
failure is not an option.
That's how winning is done.
Believe me when I say we can break this army here.
And win just one for the Gipper.
But I say to you, what every warrior has known since the beginning of time,
You've got to get mad.
I mean plumb mad dog mean.
If you would be free men, then you must
fight to fulfill that promise. Let us
cut out their living guts 1 inch at a time.
and they will know what we can do.
Let no man forget how menacing we are. We are lions.
You're like a big bear, man.
This is your time.
Seize the day.
Never surrender. Victory or death.
That's the Chicago way.
Who's with me?
Clap! Clap! Don't let team die! Clap!
All right, let's fly.
And gentlemen in England, now our bed shall...
No, my name is the Lord.
But I tell our enemies that they may take our lives, but they'll never take our Independence Day.
Class of 2014, extended family of my own, celebrate today. Contemplate your tomorrows, and may the God of the universe guide your steps and forever give you peace. In accordance with the regulations and the policies of the Hall County Board of Education in the state of Georgia, and on behalf of your Hall County Board of Education and myself, I hereby declare that these members of the class of 2014 have met all requirements and are therefore eligible to be designated as graduates of the best high school in America, North Hall High School. Congratulations.
We will now present diplomas.
Dylan Blake Abercrombie. Eric Douglas Adams. Matthew Benjamin Adams. Robert Willis Adams III. April Alcaraz. John Wyatt Amos. Latham Morgan Armour, honor graduate. Stephanie Carol Armour, honor graduate. Caroline Elizabeth Ashley. Haley Quentin Ashley. Ruby Guadalupe Avalos. Justin Mark Backus. Tristan Amberly Bailey, honor graduate. Katie LaWayne Baker. Gabrielle DeSelle Barton. Rebecca Lee Benfield, honor graduate. Destin Sky Bennett. Blake Allen Berry. Sally Danielle Berry. Rachel Nicole Bishop.
Margaret Elizabeth Brewer. Amberly Alexa Brewster, honor graduate. Andrew Jackson Bryant, Jr. Sarah Marie Buffalo. James Hunter Burns. Julie Ann Kane, honor graduate. Jason Rivard Campbell. Timothy Lamar Cantrell. William Austin Cape, honor graduate. Catherine Laura Caruth, honor graduate. Jerry Carlton Carter III, honor graduate, IB diploma candidate. Dakota DeLee Carver, honor graduate. Kayla Marie Castleberry. Enrique Castrajon.
Jennifer Catalin. Jonathan Richard Tuning. Haley Nicole Clark. Caroline Eliza Coleman. Elizabeth Locke Coleman. Emily Nicole Coleman. Copeland Allen Collins, honor graduate, IB diploma candidate. Caitlin Dorothy Cook. Brooke Chris Copeland. Autumn Deshelle Cromer, honor graduate. Hannah Leanne Davis. Travis Vincent Davis. Jose Guadalupe De La Rosa. Brandon Thomas DeLong. Andrew Michael Delozier. Matthew Ryan Dennis, honor graduate, IB diploma candidate. Caroline Alexandra Dickey, honor graduate. Allison Suzanne Doty.
Dylan Chase Dunn. Taylor Nicole Dye. Brannon Gary Dyer. Abraham Elias. Jenna Marie Ellis. Mason Kinney Ellis, honor graduate. David Madison Epps, honor graduate. Gilberto Turcios Estrada. Dawn Elizabeth Yvonne, honor graduate. Anna Elizabeth Evan, honor graduate. Stanley Allen Fisher, honor graduate, IB diploma candidate. Thomas Jacob Fisher, honor graduate. Angelica Louise Fleming. Hannah Mae Fleming. Jasmine Shea Fortner. Ashley Nicole Fowler. Chase Alexander Frizzell. Luis Angel Galvan.
Maribel Garcia. Donovan Bray Garrison. Patricia Alejandra Garza. Russell Jerry Gillespie, IB diploma candidate. Mara Grace Gilreath. Jacob Tyler Goss. Annie Marie Goswick, honor graduate. Austin Cole Gowder. Michaela Kate Graham, honor graduate, IB diploma candidate. Bethany Grace Emerald Green, honor graduate. Christina Lillian Gregory. Chase Thomas Gunter. Emma Chantal Gutierrez. Anastasia Louise Hack. Megan Nicole Hall. Caleb Stewart Hamilton. Misty Lee Hamilton, honor graduate, IB diploma candidate.
Matthew Chase Harkins. Jonathan Chase Harris. Ryder Syed Hasnain, honor graduate, IB diploma candidate. Chase Todd Hawkins. Makara Kinsey Abair. Morgan Leanne Henderson. Nathan Douglas Henson. Shawana Michelle Hicks. Dax Ray Hill. Zachary Franklin Hill. Clay William Hoffman. Leah Meredith Holbrooks. Patrick Jacob Holcomb. Charles Tristan Hollingsworth. Elijah John Hopkins. Alexis Janine Howell, honor graduate. Bailey Madison Howell.
Lacey Truelove Howell, honor graduate. Sydney Brooke Hughes, honor graduate. Cassidy Mariah Halsey. William Matthew Halsey. Jessica Marie Hurst. Laura Elizabeth Hutchings. Grant Daniel Jackson. Megan Elizabeth Johnson, honor graduate, IB diploma candidate. Dustin Scott Jones. Brandy Nicole Keys. Tristan James McKinley Keys. Jordan Ashley Collig. Lane Christian Lake. Jordan Lee Laddie, honor graduate, IB diploma candidate. John Dalton Lavender, honor graduate.
Lexi Madison Letford. Natalie Jean Letford. Alicia Leanne Lee. Jordan Tina Lee, honor graduate, IB diploma candidate. Zachary Little. Miriam Lopez. Adrian Miguel Lopez Hansen, honor graduate, IB diploma candidate. Anna Nicole Lothridge. Colin Andrew Lloyd. Cassidy Rianne Manning. Kayla Ann Marchbanks. Thomas Baker Marchman, honor graduate. Taylor Martin Merritt. Michaela Jordan Marsh. Mary Catherine Martin, honor graduate. Michael Blake Matthews. Nicholas Spencer Mayfield. Katie Jean Maynard, honor graduate.
Michaela Lynn McCrary. Kathleen Brianne McKinney. Alan Charles McMichael. Edwin Ernesto Mejia. Jose Armando Mejia. Flora Patricia Meza. Winston Jake Mills. Elizabeth Hudson Mitchell. Hannah Elizabeth Mitchell. Stephen Jesse Mobley. Diana Gabriela Marino. Devin Jaquez Moats. Stephen Lawrence Murray II. Austin Jesse Myers.
Brandolyn Nicole Nagy. John David Nedza. Chase Brandon Newberry. James Tyler Newman.
Caitlin Danielle Noel. Holly Lynn Norman. Dylan Mark Oliver. Michael Aaron Oliver Jr. Allison Reed Patton. Lindsay Brooke Payne. Suzanne Marie Peck. Taylor Paige Peterson. Bailey Lamar Pless, honor graduate. Cesar Clark Ponce. Jordan Ashton Porter. Mary Alden Powell, honor graduate. Paul Quinn Powers.
I love you, Mom!
Joshua Zeb Presley, honor graduate.
Kevin Sterling Rabb, honor graduate. Dylan Anthony Ragone. Mario Eduardo Ramirez, honor graduate, IB diploma candidate. Janelle Marie Ramos. Mary Victoria Rains, honor graduate, IB diploma candidate. Andrew Jameson Robinson. Avery Neal Rogers, honor graduate. J. William Ross. Leandria Renee Sanders. Catherine Lacey Sartain. Carrie Lee Savage. Hayden Brooke Savage. McCoy Livingston Savage, honor graduate. Matthew James Scavuzzo, honor graduate. Sarah Cable Schofield, honor graduate, IB diploma candidate.
Isaac Thomas Side. Dylan Lamar Self. Brandon Lee Shelton. Tony Cole Sheriff. Ashley Morgan Shoemaker. Jonathan Bailey Shook. Clayton Michael Shope. Stephen Tyler Shows, honor graduate, IB diploma candidate. Charles Andrew Smith, honor graduate. Sierra Michelle Smith, honor graduate. Danielle Hunter Smith, honor graduate. Houston Hartwell Andrew Smith, honor graduate, IB diploma candidate. Justin Christopher Smith. Evan Michael Snyder. Laura Lucero Soto. Donald Douglas Spencer.
Sarah Miles Standridge. Philip Winston Stanley. Leandra Britton Stevens. Madison Blair Stewart. Michaela Allison Stover, honors graduate. Cole Chandler Strickland. Dylan Hunter Strickland. Jordan Lee Strickland. Cody Dylan Suggs. Chad Anthony Swain. Jessica Ray Tanner. Dylan Lee Taylor. Honor graduate, IB diploma candidate.
My mom.
Henry Johnston Taylor. Honor graduate, IB diploma candidate. Corey Sue Teague. Erica Michaela Thomas. Honor graduate. Cody Lee Thompson. Dylan James Truelove. Emily Taylor Truelove. Honors graduate. John Casey Truelove. Joshua Austin Truelove.
Joshua James II, honor graduate, IB diploma candidate. Mariah Ann Tucker. Nolan Thomas Tucker, honor graduate. Nikki Lee Turk. Savannah Lee Turner. Haley Charlene Twiggs, honor graduate. Catherine Elizabeth Waldron. David Percy Webb, Jr. Ethan Parker West. Morgan Elaine Williams. Tyler Allen Williams. Clayton Mark Williamson. Noah Elihu Williamson. Hanson Scott Wright, honor graduate. Chase Douglas Young. Hunter Brian Young.
Ladies and gentlemen, class of 2014. At this time, the senior ensemble will come forward for the singing of the senior class song. The name of the song is Man in the Mirror. Please welcome our senior ensemble. With the graduating class of 2014 and the entire audience, please stand as the senior ensemble leads us in singing of the alma mater. The words will be projected on the screen. You may be seated. At this time, the senior class president, Mr. Thomas Marshman.
Good evening to all of you in Trojan country. I just wanted to say what a great honor it is to be standing in front of you tonight. Also, I'd like to recognize the educators, friends, and family members for helping us get to this point in our lives and for being here to support us on this very special occasion. We couldn't have done it without all your love and support, and I hope my fellow graduates will join me in thanking you all once again. Now, good evening, and especially congratulations, North Hall High School class of 2014. From the wise words of brilliant minds, Drake and Soulja Boy tell 'em, guys, we made it. It's been a long 12 years. We have spent 2/3 of our lives in school. Before that, we were ruining diapers and picking boogers, so pretty much all of our relevant life has led up to this very day. Today is the day we wear these extremely fashionable and comfortable nightgowns to walk across the stage and receive our diplomas. Today is the day we flip this funny-looking hairy thing that keeps on finding its way into the corner of my mouth from one side of the hat to the other. Today is the day we can finally call ourselves North Hall graduates. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not entirely eager to graduate. While writing the speech, I was thinking of everything that would be different after graduation and how I was terrified of this change. Things will be interesting next year living independently, doing or not doing my own laundry, not having anyone to make sure I'm on time to places, and worst of all, having to panini my own sandwiches. Scary, right? I'll miss you, Mom, wherever you are. But these are pretty minor things when in return I get almost complete freedom. I think I can speak for all of us, okay, maybe most of us, when I say we have many fond memories and life lessons learned thanks to our 4 years at North Hall. For me personally, I learned that the cafeteria's Asian chicken bites are the closest thing to heaven attainable on this earth, period. I learned that there is nothing better than a Friday night in the Brickyard, besides Asian chicken bites, of course. I'll always remember being scared to death by Mr. Giesing's random battle yells of "Go Trojans" while walking down the halls. Although they did serve their purpose and got me extremely hyped for my next class. For others, it may be meeting their best friends for the first time, or remembering a certain teacher or coach that made a special impact on them. Or maybe it is just the all-encompassing memory of going to school every day where we were given the opportunity to learn, thrive, and find our passion. Although these are fond memories, the best is to come. These are simply the foundation. As students of North Hall, we've already begun to build our future, to find our passions, and to begin our trip to our inevitable successes. For example, we've had the opportunity to participate in high levels of academic and athletic programs. We have state champs, all-stars, all-state, all-region players sitting among us, you name it. In my opinion, even more impressive stat is that 96% of our class from freshman year is sitting here today in caps and gowns. That is nearly 25% higher than the average graduation rate for the state of Georgia. On top of that, our theater and arts programs are top-notch. Don't believe me? Go check out the gallery in the lobby or go see the theater program's next show. You will be blown away. And a simple ear test at a football game will confirm that we have the best band in the state of Georgia. We've been given the opportunity to study in a wide array of subjects to find what our interests are or aren't, Sorry, Mr. Chandler, I loved your class, but math ain't for me. And the fact that I just used the word ain't, neither is English probably. We'll figure it out soon. We've learned so much about ourselves these last 4 years, things that we will build on even more. Thanks to the teachers, administrators, and staff of North Hall, those foundations that have been built are strong and genuine. They will not be broken by any storm that we may come across in life. No failure or shortcoming will be strong enough to shake our identity that North Hall has helped to form. Our foundation will carry the weight of many more memories to be made and lessons to be learned. Class of 2014, now is the time to go out and make those memories and learn those lessons. No matter if you are entering the workforce, going to college, joining the military, whatever it may be, trust and know that the things you have been exposed to and learned at North Hall these last 4 years will carry you a lifetime. Standing in front of you tonight, I cannot help to be excited to see you all in 10, 20, 50 years from now and hear all the crazy, awesome stories you have to share. Congratulations, my friends, and of course, go Trojans.
Thank you, Thomas. That's like following Bob Hope. Now that you've received your diplomas, it's a long-standing North Hall High School tradition to signify the transition from senior to graduate by turning of the tassel. Seniors, please stand. You may now move your tassels from the right to the left. And congratulations, you're now graduates of North Hall High School.
You may be seated. I know this is a little anticlimactic, but it is very important. Our final business for tonight is the recognition of our beloved principal, Mr. Giesling, who is retiring after 6 years at North Hall High School. North Hall has grown tremendously in almost every aspect since his arrival. Ask any faculty what pep rallies were like before Mr. Giesling, and they would answer, what pep rallies? Mr. Giesling brought passion and energy to North Hall that was never seen before. Sitting in his office this week, Mr. Giesling told me that his only wish for students who graduate is that they look back at their time in high school and say, those 4 years at North Hall were really fun. From things such as pep rallies to simply posting signs in the halls, he strived to make North Hall a more enjoyable place to go to school every day. This is the type of energy he brought. He wanted students to feel safe and especially to have fun. He believed if those two things were achieved, then the students would do their part in the classroom, and that they did, posting graduation rates and test scores that rival any public school in the state of Georgia year in and year out. Perhaps his greatest legacy he will leave is the feeling, the pride of being a Trojan. Mr. Giesling's passion of being a Trojan trickled down through his faculty and staff to the students. In graduating today, I'll speak on behalf of all the Trojans graduating tonight and the ones who have walked before us. It feels dang good to be a Trojan. We owe all to you, Mr. Giesling. Now everyone, please join me in recognizing Mr. Giesling one more time. I'll read this right here. It is tradition at North Hall that the class president leads the graduated alumni out of the building. But tonight, I will ask if our true leader, Mr. Giesling, will lead us out as we both move on from North Hall High School. But before you do, will you please come to the podium here and lead everyone and lead everyone here in that one phrase you made famous and that means so much to all of us.
Go Trojans! Go Trojans! Go Trojans! Go Trojans!